Yo, 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 yo. What is up? We are back with another mini pod today. I'm going to talk about something that I just watched, which I'm going to be honest, it is pretty scary, and I've been seeing a little bit more on these type of videos. I'm sure you already know what I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to be talking about the things about dopamine and screen time and people using their phones too much and stuff like that. I just saw a video from Jay Swingler um, about all that, and I just saw about like the science and all that shit that he like put on there and shit like that. And it is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty crazy. I've been because like personally, I've been seeing myself not more be on my phone. I've always had this addiction to watching YouTube, and I guess that's a part of it, in a way. But I've seen myself, in my own personal life falling for those things, falling for like the, just almost unlimited amount of like just dopamine right in your hands. And I fell for that like at least for like extremely for a year at least, and that was the last year where I like really fell for it. I really fell into it. Like I was drinking, I was doing all sorts of stuff. I was just like, I was doing the thing. I'll be honest. I was doing the thing. And so, and still today, I'm like, still seeing myself scroll a little bit longer than I expect. But I'm still somewhat paying attention to the time. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like just sitting there for like hours scrolling on my phone and stuff. I'm looking at the time. I'm making sure that I'm, not scrolling too long, and there is a sort of structure to it, which for me, I guess I'm like part of the 1% where I'm just like, I need my structure, I need my routine to like be able to like function. So like doing those things first for me is definitely like the biggest motivator and everything, and well, like not even the motivator, my bad, like the biggest thing that gives me the more bigger side of my dopamine, right? It helps me to be, dopamigenic or whatever the word is. You know what I mean? And like I don't know, it's just crazy to see. Like I've seen so many like people that have like over their entire day is just filled with it, and I'm just like, dude, what? I can't even like scroll for like an hour without getting exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I need to do something else. Like I'm a person that's like, I need to always be doing something, you know. And a part of that is, yes, because I work in a kitchen. So like I've kind of like developed this sort of like, I get my dopamine from like doing many different things. Like this is giving me dopamine right now. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, because like it's just something different. I was watching YouTube, now I'm doing this, and then after that I'm gonna go to my bed. I'm gonna scroll for a little bit. You know what I mean? And then it's just like a little bit, something different. So like that's just how I roll. But also, I mean, I guess another thing that makes me the 1% is that like I also get my dopamine from like, my exercise, and I really get dopamine from like, taking care of myself and doing all that sort of stuff. So like I guess I am a part of that 1% that's like fucking weird and enjoys the fact of doing those sort of things, you know. I mean, maybe it's because I had like a past of like absolutely fucking balls to the wall, like would spend 3 days straight, no sleep, only on energy drinks and literally on my screen. I literally, no joke, one time during summer, I literally, like, it's probably maybe a year since then, I literally, like, no joke, sat here, not here, but like, you know what I mean, like, sat down and literally stayed up for 3 days, no sleep, only on energy drinks and like, doing things that like would keep me up, and like I would generally have like some weights right next to me, and that was a part of it, is like giving myself a little bit of adrenaline so like my body could stay up. And like that was the one time I was like, okay, dude. After that I was like, all right, let's kind of dial this thing down. Let's kind of like dial in on my life in general. And like that's how it all began, is like just from that one step. After that I was like, holy shit, what have I done to myself, and like I really thought about it, like even when I was like 12, or not 12, like 15 or something like that, when I was in my early teens. I was like, holy shit, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? So like even in that moment I was like, holy shit, and so from then on, I mean, I took like the very minute steps of like changing my everything. And from there it really like shifted my life in the right direction. And now it's my life right now completely 180. Well, actually more like 175, I would say. Because like I'm not perfect, I'm not a perfect human. Nobody is. Which is why we're all beautiful anyway. And but like, so yeah, I just like completely changed my life. This is not me like glazing myself too much. I'm just just talking about a topic, and it, how it relates to me, And I mean, even right now, even while I'm doing this, I'm fidgeting with this book. I do like this whole thing with like, I like fidget with shit, or like I'm doing stuff, or not even doing things. I'm not even doing anything. I would just be like watching YouTube, and I would just be doing that shit, And like maybe that's a part of it. A part of me being like not as dopaminic, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I wanted to just bring this up because like it's a big topic, and like I've seen it a lot across the internet, to be honest, a little bit more recently, where it's like people are like making videos, even in Yes Theory, like the people that I love more than any other channel. It's just about like the people's screen time and their attention span and all that sort of stuff. And like I it is really bad, and like people should like take caution and like really like hone in, what makes you really dopaminic. Like what makes you actually feel good? Is it the drinking? Is it the those different vices, or is it just simply hanging out with someone, or like going over to another person's house, or doing this simple shit of like going on a walk, or like doing your exercise for the day? Like what makes you actually feel dopaminic, right? And then also on top of that, what actually makes you feel good, right? Which is a part of dopamine. Eating healthy, making healthier choices brings in that natural dopamine, and it makes you feel genuinely better, it's not even a thing of like, it's not even like anything like that. It's just like straight up like, the simple choice of like, do I want McDonald's or do I want, an easy to make meal, at home. Like you can make some fucking toast with butter and like some like ham on top, and that's a fucking breakfast that you made, and that's healthy, right? Like just simple shit like that can dramatically change your health. And like I just feel like people don't really like think about like, like you can do those healthy choices without even like thinking about it. Just as much as you don't think about ordering that McDonald's or whatever. Like you can make a breakfast in that same time you are ordering that McDonald's, right? Like seriously, it's literally that easy. You just take the toast, put it in the toaster, slap it down, done. That's your breakfast. Like literally that's your breakfast. Like people don't really think about that, And then you just put like a piece of meat or whatever on it, and then that's your breakfast. Like literally, like that's it. Anyways, I'm just like randomly thinking about this because like I literally just saw a video on that, and I'm just like, it's just fresh off my mind. So I'm like, holy shit, how true is this? That people don't really think about like little things like that, And I mean, the reason why I brought in the toast thing is because I'm a cook, but like it also helps with like many other things too, like making this video is giving me dopamine, right? And it does the same amount of dopamine as like me watching YouTube, right? Because I'm kind of uploading to YouTube as well, so I guess, right? So like, and it's also like one of those really easy things where I just like press record and that's it. I don't touch shit. It's just like the toast, right? It's just like the toast. I just hit record, boom, I get the same dopamine, just like that. Like I'm not even taking like too many extra steps, right? So I don't know. I'm not. This is like just like I said, a random topic that just popped into my head since it was fresh in my mind, and I just thought about how fucking real it is, and how actually like yeah, it's just how real it is, yeah. So like it's just a real thing that people do and on a day to day, and it's just people's attention span are low. People get tired super quickly for like doing anything that's not on their phone or screen time or whatever. Even watching a show doesn't give people dopamine now. Like it's crazy. Like it's the same shit with me. I'll be honest with you. I really am bad at watching shows. I really am. I don't get any dopamine from watching shows, which I should. I really should. I should, watch more shows, and I really don't. I really don't. I would rather watch YouTube while scrolling than doing that shit. So like, I'm telling you, I'm saying this because like this is real shit that I deal with too. So like it's just, come on, man. You like it's stuff that we gotta fix and that I gotta fix myself. And I mean, I'm not really a good example because like I said, I have been like doing this shit, this whole like really trying to like be proactive in my life for like years now. Years. So like even during that 1 year where it was like really bad, I also was still being productive. So I am a really bad example. So it's still like I'm just thinking about like the general public though. Like you gotta like take care of yourself. You gotta do things that you gotta do the right thing, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's also a part of the a part of the reason is because like some of these people like they scroll on their phones when they're on when they're at work and they're not really paying attention because they're at work scrolling on their phone. And like I don't know, maybe it's because people are like doing really boring jobs, or like, I don't know. It's hard to really tell the reasons to it, but like I feel like there is a way to solve it. That's all I'm trying to say. There is a way to solve it. It's just people, have a hard time doing it, Same as myself. I had a really hard time doing it. But like slowly, step by step, taking the absolute minute steps of literally shuffling in terms of steps. Like literally it was a shuffle to like get myself to be like this, But like I guess I made that one little shuffle, and then it just became another shuffle, until I turned into a little shuffle man. Like a little penguin. Like but I don't know. I'm just like I said like 5 times already. I just randomly thought about this, Dopamine is really taking over the world, and like I really feel like it's, really all in part because of like, how much more accessible than ever it is to get dopamine, especially like the other parts of the world where like phones are accessible and stuff like that, And so it's just, I don't know, there's an easy solution for certain things, and like I feel like even taking those steps would, start to, make people want to maybe change something else, and then change something else, and oh, maybe I'll do this differently or do that differently, and then maybe I'll, make this drastic change all of a sudden, and then do that drastic change all of a sudden, and that's how I've done my life, and I just feel like it's really beneficial for people, to do that sort of thing, and just take a little shuffle, even if it's like a toe's length, even if it's your pinky toe's length. Like, bro, like you just gotta make that little tiny shuffle, and then you're off to the races. I feel like, it doesn't even matter if you like take one. If you just don't do it at like a normal time that you would, even taking that step would be like a drastic change, right? Like, oh, normally I would just scroll right now, but like, you know what? Instead, I'm just gonna, sit here and do nothing. That's better than scrolling on your phone, to be honest. Like doing those little things, really, really helps out with people, and like, just take a shuffle, and you'll get there. And I really do like believe in society, with people like creators, even themselves outing themselves, and people just really like pushing it, pushing that different idea of like doing things not on their phone, and I really, really, really fuck with it, I really do. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video, upload this, and scroll on my phone for a little bit, maybe too long, and go to bed pretty late. I will catch you guys on the next video. And I know I didn't upload one last week. That was because I just plain out didn't have time. I was exhausted that week and just really didn't really get to it. So yeah, that was it. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I will do a commentary, from here on out, sprinkling in mini podcasts if I, just don't have time and I just wanna, or if I feel like it, right? And like, these videos are just gonna keep on pumping, keep on rolling, and yeah, man, I'm enjoying doing this. I really love making videos for you guys. I really enjoy, just putting shit out and like, sometimes you put internet poop out, and who knows what'll happen, right? So there are many examples of internet poop that have banged, So, anyways, I'm just yapping at this point. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and don't do anything more than this, or after this video, stop watching YouTube and just do nothing. Okay, cool. Deuces. Deuces.